The erosion of democracy worldwide reached a new peak last year. That's according to a new report by the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. The study says that the number of countries moving towards authoritarianism is more than double the number moving towards democracy. It found declines worldwide. Half of European democracies eroded in the last 5 years, while there was also significant backsliding in the Americas and rising authoritarianism in Asia. One bright spot was resilience in several African democracies, despite chronic instability on that continent. Now, Kevin Casas Zamora is the Secretary General for the Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, and he joins us from Stockholm. Now, Kevin, your report makes for bleak reading. Why is democracy having such a tough time globally?
I think it's a combination of factors. Some of them more linked to the moment that we are living. I mean, the political hangover that comes after the pandemic, but also as a result of Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine. That's a factor, but most of all, is structural factors that predate the pandemic and the war. Things like the runaway levels of polarization and the grotesque levels of inequality that are pulling societies apart, that are undermining the capacity of democracies to resist the authoritarian onslaught. There's also the visible erosion in the faith in liberal institutions as a result of a very widespread perception that democracies are not proving able to deliver in an efficacious way to social expectations and demands. And then there's the question of corruption that's having a toxic effect globally in eroding democratic legitimacy. And generally speaking, a very inhospitable environment at the international level for the protection of democracy. So all those factors are coming together for a really bleak landscape for democracy globally.
Now, even in Europe, that's according to your report, nearly half of so-called highly performing democracies have suffered erosion. What does that mean, and why is that?
I mean, what that means essentially is that democracies, even high-performing democracies, and a lot of them, practically all of them, according to our measurement, are to be found in Western Europe, are not making progress in terms of protecting and securing access to fundamental rights. And that, of course, has different manifestations according to the country. But generally speaking, there is the perception that democracies are not being able to deliver in a new environment defined by almost permanent crisis. And this is very important. And that's why the question of making sure that the quality of democratic governance is at the heart of public debates is so essential for the future of democracy. You know, if there's one lesson that we should have gleaned from the experience of the pandemic, is that the quality of democratic governance literally saves lives.
Kevin Casas Zamora there from the Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance in Stockholm. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.